Hey, yo.
Back hero.
Yo, check it. This my special attack, 100 swords, 100 episodes, and here's to 100 more. Who got next? Place your change on the cabinet. Air Combo University graduates juggle my enemies before tagging in the Masters hero. Pros in action, toe tagging champions getting active. The message will always get near you. Return to the dream team, Spider-Man and Strider hear you. When the mask is on, I can't promise Cyclops to keep his glasses on. The handshake was potent. The inner glow shown as a mega optic blast, trailing behind the Shinku Hadouken. How you gonna dodge both of them? Blast you down to the last atom. Best regards from the proton cannon you couldn't fathom. If you were raised on gaming and put a controller up, I'm old enough to study the meta before I bless you. We understood space in the dash clean. Now we need the Justin Wong poster right next to the pro athletes. Final justice like a primary lotus from out the sky. Stars and stripes reminding you racism is still alive. Bring a plasma sword to a gunfight. Hayato, bring a hurricane kick. Tatsumaki Sentakyu. One time for all my otakus who played the console till their eyes closing. Probably forgot to study for their finals. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash.
Back on deck.
Yo, we're back. Hero just played a beat before we started doing the podcast, and it melted my face off.
It was good.
Pick my face up off the ground.
It was good. It was a good beat. Not gonna lie.
Twas fire. Yo, man, what's going on, y'all? Episode 112.
Shout out to 112, the R&B group.
Ah, yes. Shout out to 112, the R&B group. Yo, we're coming off Wrestlemania Weekend. Fun time. Lots of wrestling. Not just WWE, man. Wrestlemania Weekend is packed with a bunch of other promotions doing big shows. But before we get into some WrestleMania recap, what are you into currently, my friend? Episode 112.
So I'm into making sure my Detroit basketball Pistons properly tank at the end of the season. So let me tell you my roller coaster of emotions yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
And I did realize we're not quite out of the woods yet, and I'll explain that in a second.
Okay.
So but it's certainly better. So the Pistons have been playing great lately. Cade has been going crazy.
Good. Flat out good.
Right, really good.
Chill. Stop winning so much.
So, and Sadiq been going crazy. Killian been looking legit, dog.
Come on, man.
The problem is, God damn it, stop it. Stop winning games at the end of the season, bro. They always do this shit.
Bro,
so
I'm also loving livers too, man.
Yeah, solid piece there. So what happened? About 2 weeks ago, the Pistons were like tied with, or maybe less than a week. They were tied with Magic, Rockets, and the Pistons were all tied with the worst record. And we had like a really tough schedule.
Yeah, like the schedule was not easy.
They had an easy schedule. Like we looked like we had a chance on like emerging with the number one worst odds. But then we mess around and beat the brakes off of the 76ers like by accident. And Cade went absolutely. Oh, sorry.
Crazy.
Didn't we beat Brooklyn first? Did we?
I think we lost it. Yeah, Durant dropped like 40, but they almost beat.
Right, they almost beat the Nets. Cade was like going shot for shot with Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Then we accidentally trip and fall and blow out the 76ers by accident.
Killian Hayes accidentally locking up James Harden.
Bro, Cade had another crazy game where he completely took over in the fourth quarter, and then. So like, all right, cool. We lost these two games, or we won these two games, or we won that game, but we still have a lead over OKC. So then we lose to OKC, who was just openly cheating, bro. Like they had, cheating. I started at center for them, bro. Like they had like 9 rotational guys out, and all of like the only people that were playing that were
Cheaters.
a part of their future was like that Poku dude, Vesky or whatever his name.
Cheated.
Just openly cheating, and we beat them to death. We beat them by like 20.
And we even made an attempt. We tried to sit some guys.
Yeah. We played Cade for like the first 5 minutes, sat him, didn't play Jeremy Grant.
Cade,
Sat
have a
Sadiq
seat.
played.
I think you're not feeling too
Right.
well.
Yeah, you remember you told me that your hip hurt. God damn it, sit down.
Oh no, we good, coach.
Your hip hurt, motherfucker. And so like we played all of our G League guys and we still won. So then here's the kicker. This is what destroyed me yesterday, bro. We play against the Pacers, who are another tanking team, and we don't play we don't play Cade. He sits out. Corey, they probably should have played Corey Joseph, but he sat out.
Played him at all 5 positions.
Right. And then Killian Hayes is the only like long term. Oh, and then Sadiq Bey had like 31 points in the first half, something like that.
Sadiq goes nuts.
And then they beat the Pacers, bro. Another team that was tanking pretty hard, but they beat the Pacers, and I'm like, bro, like this sucks, man. Like I gotta build the tension up for y'all. So I'm like, yo, this sucks. This is horrible. Like I'm like legitimately my day is ruined because at the moment we now have one more win than OKC. So they're technically ahead of us. They've got sole possession of the 3rd spot, and the reason why that's important is because the top 3 seeds get the same odds for the number 1 pick. And so being in that top 3 matters. Like it matters a fair amount. And people on Twitter were trying to calm me down, like, oh, it's only one. Like whatever you say. That's not how anxiety works. Give me the worst odds. Give me the worst record and the best odds.
Give me the worst possible outcome. That's what I'm thinking of.
Right, exactly. And to mitigate that, the more things we have stacked in our favor, the better. So then I look on my phone, and to my surprise, what a bunch of fucking losers, bro. The Oklahoma City Thunder beat the shit out of the Suns, the best team in the league. They beat them by 20. What a bunch of losers, dog.
What a bunch of idiots.
So they had sole possession of the 3rd worst spot for like an hour.
Goodness.
And then they tripped and fell and destroyed the best team in the league, playing a bunch of scrubs.
Oh my god!
And Chris Paul played too. It's not like they didn't.
I know.
Like I think Devin Booker sat out, but still lost by 20. Ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
So I felt much better about that. But here's the thing: if we both lose out, the good news is we play against the Mavericks, the Bucks, and the Sixers again. I expect us to lose all 3 of those games. The OKC, they play the Lakers, who are a train wreck. They play the Blazers, who also are a train wreck, and they also play the Clippers, who may already be locked into their position.
Yeah,
so they might not play anybody. So it's possible that they win at least one more game, and it's also possible that we lose all of our games. So the reason why we're not quite out of the woods yet is because if we both lose out, we'd be in a tie for 3rd, which would go to a coin flip.
A coin flip, okay. That's how they determine that.
And it could, whatever, the coin flip is what it is. But at the end of the day, I feel better. I still don't feel as confident as I did last year that we're going to get a top 3 pick. But the good news is,
but in my opinion, if you get a top 4 in this draft, you're good.
Or 5. Preferably 4.
I say 4.
But even still, like even if we happen to not, even if we drop and we don't get any of those top 4 guys, we kind of already got 2 guys, right? We got Cade, he's a sure thing, and we got Sadiq, who's really looking.
And Killian kind of been.
Yeah,
look, man, I've been so wishy-washy on him the last 2 years, but I mean the way that he's played since he came back from being hurt, is like
playing with confidence.
Hopefully, it's just like it's a wrap. Like you can't go back now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You gotta.
I think what he realized is
this is you. You can't. And I feel like these are. He's not doing anything crazy. Like this is your skill set. Like this is how I've expected him to play since he got here.
The one thing I'm not gonna say it's crazy, but I think what he realized is like, wait a minute, I got this thing on a string kind of. I can cross people over.
Kind of 6'5" and can handle the ball a little bit.
And he been straight up like putting people in blenders, and I'm like, wait a minute, bro, could you always do that?
They're dunking on people,
right? So I'm like fine with him. I'd love for him to get his starting spot back, but even if his ceiling is still our 6th man, I'm good with it.
Just not. Come on now, not for Corey Joseph.
Oh, this is assuming that we get somebody like
Jaden Ivey,
right? Yeah. Or that's really, or like we ended up signing Anthony Simons in free agency,
right?
But other than that, like I expect him to start, because his fit with Cade when they both play well together, it's fantastic.
Great.
So that's what I've been on. Go Pistons, but lose, and then win next year.
Boom. yeah, man, I just been on. This last weekend I was just obsessed with wrestling. It's WrestleMania weekend, so I literally, this is the only time where there's only 2 times out of the year where I just refuse to do anything, and that's Christmas and WrestleMania weekend, because I just watch wrestling all weekend. That's what I did. That's what I've been into. I've been watching a lot of older stuff. I was watching Wrestle Kingdom 10 yesterday. Just so good, man. Wrestle Kingdom 10 and Wrestle Kingdom 11. That's my 2 favorite pay-per-views of all time. Fire.
What is that paper? The number 10 was the one with Shinsuke and AJ Styles.
Yeah, man. 10 was the first Wrestle Kingdom I watched was 9. The first Wrestle Kingdom I watched live, which did the whole New Japan routine. Got up at like 3 in the morning, watched it live. Was Wrestle Kingdom 10. That show is nuts, bro. Kenny Omega versus Kushida. This is when Omega was still a junior heavyweight. Shibata versus Ishii. They beat the crap out of each other. Classic. Naito versus Goto. It's a good match. Shinsuke versus AJ Styles. Tanahashi and Okada, the main event. Like the last 5 matches of Wrestle Kingdom 10 are all just all time good matches. It's crazy. So good. And at the time, I stayed up, watched it live. Back in 2016, I think, January 4th. I thought Tanahashi and Okada, that main event, I thought that was the best wrestling match I ever seen in my life. And then New Japan just kept topping it after that, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But Wrestle Kingdom 10 is incredible. But yeah, that's what I've been on. I've just been watching a bunch of wrestling, old and new, all weekend. But yeah, man, other news, Pokemon. We talked about this a few episodes back because this is like the 25th year, but Pokemon now, its birthday was last week, so it's officially 25 years old. Just one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite starter of the 3 types? Each 3 types. So what's your favorite grass starter, your favorite water starter, and your favorite fire starter?
Well, the last 2 are going to be easy no-brainers, obviously. But for grass, I had to really think about it. I haven't liked a ton of the grass starters, but there's 2 that really stand out. Shout out to OG Venusaur. Venusaur is always very good. But I think the clear winner here is Sceptile.
Boom.
First of all, that's one of the best names of a Pokemon ever.
And he just looks sweet.
He looks sweet as hell. Got a sweet Mega Evolution. And then obviously my fire and water starters are definitely Charizard, no-brainer, favorite Pokemon ever, and Greninja, which is another top 5 Pokemon ever for me.
Love it. So yeah, man, y'all know me. Love Pokemon. My favorite grass starter is also Sceptile, man.
Sorry, Cinderace is also a honorable mention for that second spot for fire.
Cinderace is fire, pun intended. But yeah, Sceptile, super dope, man. Gen 3 is my favorite generation. Gen 3 is my favorite group of starters altogether, besides Gen 1, obviously. But yeah, man, Sceptile's fire. And then if you pick him in Gen 3, he just runs through the Hoenn region because that region is just all water and a bunch of water types. My favorite fire starter is Infernape. I love Charizard too, but Infernape is definitely my favorite fire type.
Shout out to Blaziken as well.
Yeah, shout out to Blaziken, another Gen 3er. And then my favorite water is hard for me because I love Blastoise and Greninja. Those are literally my top 2 favorite Pokemon, not just starters. So I'm just going to cheat and pick both of them. Also, shout out to Swampert, another Gen 3er. Swampert's also one of my all-time favorites.
Swampert was one of the first Pokemon. Actually, I would say Snorlax was the first Pokemon to break the meta.
Yeah.
But Swampert was also one of the...
He was, man.
That typing was
crazy
at the time. At the time. I mean, it's a little outdated now, but at the time...
it was nuts.
Couldn't nobody really fuck with it.
He's another really good one to get in that game too, because especially if you're playing Emerald and you go Swampert, you got to deal with all those dragons when you go to the Pokemon League, and you got to deal with Rayquaza if you're trying to catch him at the end. little ice punch from Swampert.
Right, get out of here.
Get that right out of here.
Watch out, right quick.
So what's one thing you want to see added in Pokemon games, or one thing you wanted to see them change.
I mean, there's a lot more than. I mean,
right.
I say this, it makes it sound like I think the games are trash. I don't. But I definitely think the formula has got to switch up. So if it was one thing, I would say in general, we got to adjust the formula. We talked a lot about.
So you like Arceus, right? You like how they did. Okay.
Yeah. So we talked a lot about Arceus and how like I do think that needs to be the way that they go in the future. But to your point, because I know you're in the competitive scene, you don't want to get rid of that piece, right? So is there a way that you can do both, right? Where like you do something similar to gyms, but maybe not exactly the same thing as gyms, where you have like clear, like a battle system where you need to like do a lot of battling. But the way that you catch Pokemon needs to be like this forever.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I agree.
Period.
This was it was fun, but it was so fresh, and it's kind of a satisfying element, like just actually throwing the Pokeball.
Yeah, and it took
cool.
some skill too,
Yeah.
like being able to sneak. I had such a good strategy. I had a really cheap strategy. I can't even actually remember it now. I think what I would do. Oh, this is what I would do. This was some bullshit. I would, because you can free roam, right? You can even as you battle. So I would get caught by somebody. I would like get the battle animation going, and I would have my character run behind the Pokemon.
Oh, that's so smart.
And then run away, and then immediately throw a Pokemon and hit him in the back.
Oh my!
And it would get you like that back bonus.
Yeah, which increases your
it like
probability
triples your
of
odds of
catching
them. Yeah,
that's a good strategy.
It was there was some stuff you could do, right? So like having that be the way that you encounter Pokemon in the wild has got to stay, and figure out a way to like keep. Oh, and also better graphics. Like I think it's time.
Yeah,
like tighten that up.
Yeah, y'all gotta step up the graphics, man.
Yeah,
it's all cheap. Was it chibi animation?
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to step that up. I think if I could change one thing, I'm just gonna pick one. I want to see different starter types. I think it's time to.
Yeah.
I think it's time to. I mean, what was this, Gen 9?
Yeah.
It's definitely time to move on from grass, water, fire. I think obviously it's classic, it's dope. They've done it so many times. I would love to see 3 new ones.
Yeah, what did we talk about last time? I think we said steel, ground,
and ice or something would be fire. Like y'all gotta switch it up, man. I would be here for that. And then you know what I think they should do? That should be the new type. I would be down with that. Steel, ground, and ice. And then when they, there's always like the third game. They haven't done the third one in years, but in case they do, like Emerald, Sapphire, Ruby, Sapphire, then you get Emerald, right? And then you got what was it? Diamond, Pearl, and then they came out with Platinum.
Yeah.
And then you got Gold, Silver, and then you got Crystal, right? There's always the third game that's like the better version of the 2 that came out. If they did do a third one, I would like to see even crazier starters like Fairy, you know what I mean? Like really get weird.
Fairy, Dragon, Dark, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Or Poison, maybe.
Yeah, so that would be dope. But yeah, that's what I would change. But all right, man. Last time we had on episode 111, we did our wrestling list, man. We had you guys send in your list. We did our SwordCast definitive top 10 wrestlers list, and I was good with it. I didn't really have a problem with that list. I actually liked it. Thought it was pretty good.
I was surprised. We trained them very well.
We have trained you well. But yeah, man, let's get into some WrestleMania, man. WrestleMania weekend. If you're a wrestling fan, even if like me, like I'm a wrestling purist, so I do get annoyed at WWE's kind of entertainment first aspect of it. And but I mean, WrestleMania is always fun. It's always fun to get excited for it. It's always fun to just kind of think back to when I was younger and it was such a huge deal, and I used to love WrestleMania. Do you have a favorite WrestleMania moments? What's your favorite WrestleMania moments ever?
Yeah, I mean, again, I gotta apologize for my 12-year absence.
Right.
So I missed the Daniel Bryant moment. That probably would have been up there.
Yeah, that was good.
We've said this a lot, but to me, I mean, I just think the Kofi Mania moment and like the whole experience leading up to it, it was such a good payoff.
It was, man. That was one of the best things that It was one of the best things WWE's ever done, in my opinion. The
Yep.
whole Kofi thing, Kofi Mania. Shout out to Bryan Danielson for being such a dope part of that. The match was good. The moment was just amazing. I agree. I honestly think that might be my favorite WrestleMania moment too. Was Kofi Mania. So good, and I don't think I've ever wanted a wrestler to win more than that.
And I wasn't 100% convinced that they would pull the
That's
trigger.
the crazy thing is because I didn't even think they would. This is Vince loves to. It's like putting a dollar bill on a fishing pole. You got to be quicker than that, but we're gonna put chicken on it instead because they're black.
Right.
But yeah, man, such a good moment, such a good payoff. It was a tearjerker, man. It was fantastic. See,
Legit.
Somebody black win the WWE Championship like that, and the match was dope too. Is that also your favorite match? If you had to pick a favorite WrestleMania match, would that be your favorite match?
I mean, I think we both talked about this. He had a couple of matches leading up to that were a little bit better. Like that cage match.
Yeah, and then they did like the gauntlet match on SmackDown. That was fire.
Yep.
I think you got to look at the match was good, but I think looking at the whole Kofi Mania thing as like one big experience altogether makes it better.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I really have a. You know what, bro? I don't know. I've been a little underwhelmed in general with like the WrestleMania like quality. Like the quality of matches and WrestleMania matches are not usually the thing that attracts people to WrestleMania. It's the spectacle.
It is, and that's kind of the thing that annoys me about it. Is
agreed.
It's become so much more a thing for the casual fan than it is for the big time like sweaty Mark, as they say.
God damn it.
Hey, well, actually,
you guys are so sweaty. Look at you. Ugh. Did you get a girlfriend?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think that my favorite WrestleMania match is probably some older stuff. Steamboat, Savage from WrestleMania 3. That's always going to be one of my favorites. And then probably Brett and Owen from WrestleMania 10. Just classic. And then, I mean, from those are a little before, my time, but just matches I got introduced to and just love them. And then, but for my childhood, I always loved the ladder matches, man. WrestleMania 17 with Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, nuts. And then WrestleMania 2000, they had that match too. So probably those would be some of my other ones. But all right, man, let's talk about WrestleMania, man. It was 2 nights. WWE's trying to copy New Japan, who did it first and better. But yeah, man, WrestleMania was 2 nights. So let's start with night one. You came over to watch night one. We had Infinity Pizza and Infinity Chicken Wings.
Yep. I ate most of them because I had been fasting and I hadn't eaten anything that whole day. And
oh man,
I feel bad. Although I did confirm that both of Novelist's children did eat. But other than that,
but yeah, man, I thought night one was cool. I enjoyed night one. I thought night one was good for what it was. Let's start with let's go over some of these matches. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna bring up the match. We're gonna rate it on a scale on the soundboard. The highest honor is an A-man. That means A-man.
Amen, yeah.
That means like, yo, this was A-man. Yeah, check this out.
Yep.
The second best honor, okay, it's an explosion. It was good. It was dope. It was decent. It was good. All right. And then we're gonna start getting into the trash meter. The first level of trash is gonna be no. The Liam Neeson no. Just not worth it. Was weak. But if it was just absolute, just doo doo.
You already know, dog.
Oh man. Oh, it's not over. All right, man. So let's get started. Night one. Let's start with Let's start with Rey Mysterio Jr. and his son Dominic versus The Miz and Logan Paul.
You know, I'm mixed on this because I was very impressed with Dominic, and obviously getting to see Rey Mysterio at this age still doing it. They both look great, but The Miz, I never liked The Miz, obviously, and get out of here, the Paul brothers, move.
Go away.
But like the
This
fact
kinda
that
rich and white can
Right.
do whatever we want.
the fact that he like didn't look the absolute worst means that it's guaranteed he's getting a contract. Bro.
100%.
Guaranteed.
Miz, we're gonna get Miz versus Logan Paul.
That part was
Guaranteed.
actually hilarious at the end.
It was. I enjoyed that because I feel like Miz kind of did it for the pro wrestlers in the back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
For me, it's still
no. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a Liam Neeson no for me too.
Yeah.
I think and the only reason things stopping it from being being
the boo
clown music boo boo
Yeah.
is because it's dope that Rey Mysterio wrestled with his kid.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, their intro was cold.
Yeah,
too.
the intro was fire. Dominic wore the Eddie Guerrero jacket, so I thought that was dope. So it's gonna be a Liam Neeson. No. All right, man. Oh man, Shinsuke Nakamura and freaking. How do you say this dude's name?
Like Mooks, Boots.
and Muscle Rock and Roll Man versus the Usos.
No.
It's gonna be a Liam Neeson no for me too. I love Shinsuke, man,
Obviously, me
but
too,
what are we
but-
doing?
I also heard that the reason why they had to finish, Shinsuke finished on his
Yeah,
own.
he
is
hurt his knee.
He like tore his ACL
he
out
did,
there.
man.
What a fucking loser.
Why? I just never understood. I never understood his why, and I don't understand why are we giving. What's with the? Why did he go from a rock and roll man to a strong guy?
I don't know. I don't know the story at all.
Hey, come here. What are you into? I like to work out sometimes. Get out of here. You're a muscle man now.
Right.
Strong Freddie Mercury. Oh, man.
I was trying to find the guile death. The ooh oh ooh oh.
Yeah, Liam Neeson no for me. No. I think we're going to get our all right, here, moving on. Moving on still on night one. Drew McIntyre and the Sword of Omens from Thundercats against Happy Corbin.
Dog, I'm sorry, but
No.
I like-
that's it? No, I'm getting yeah. Yeah, absolutely not. That was
the only reason why I was going to give it a little bit higher is because he literally tried to kill him at the end with that sword.
with the Sword of Omens.
Right.
Oh. Eye of Thundera. Give me sight beyond
sight.
Is there a more heroic voice than
No,
Rhino from
bro.
Thundercats?
He's the best. He is the most heroic hero ever.
His voice is just unbelievably heroic.
Yep.
But yeah, man. No, stop. I feel bad for Drew McIntyre, man. Like I
Yeah.
did not care about this at all.
Nope.
And then Drew got such a crappy hand from winning the
Yeah.
title right at the beginning of COVID.
With
so
the empty
no
stadium.
fans.
That sucked.
His
man.
whole title run was empty arena.
Yeah, that sucks.
But like, I don't understand their obsession with Corbin, man. Like he's just always finagles his way. Like this match was so trash, and this whole entire thing was so whack that I completely didn't care about him kicking out of End of Days, and he's like the only person to ever kick out of that move.
All right.
So, all right. So the surprise on the card: Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. What do you think of that?
I wish there was something in between no and explosion.
No. There's
look,
a lot of people who are saying this was like one of the best matches of the year.
Hell no.
No.
So where are you gonna go ahead, man? What are your thoughts
You
on
know, look, I wouldn't say I was a Cody apologist. I was just not. I just was neutral on Cody.
it?
Like,
Yeah,
I
you
didn't-
weren't down for the hate that was going his way.
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly I'm not here for the hate that goes Brandy's way for non-wrestling reasons, right? We're not about to tear no black woman down. But I didn't. You know, I thought Cody was whatever. He was fine. Like, I didn't pay him any attention really. But it's hard for me now, like, when you look at this turn of events where he has gone back to WWE, and, you know, I love AEW, like, that's my number one promotion these days. But a lot of AEW fans are in a little bit of denial where it's like, oh, it's not a bit, like, it kind of is a big deal that he went back to WWE.
Yeah.
I think AEW is gonna be fine. Like, I think they'll be fine. But, like, that sucks. Like, he kind of punched them in the balls a little bit, and I thought, and did it for his own ego, for the sake of, like, he never was gonna get over the way he wanted to, because he thinks he's like this superhero babyface, and like I don't know that he is. I think that he could have been if he just was more patient, but he just wanted to make it happen. And that kind of sucks, man, from the perspective of an AEW fan. So I didn't like that. I didn't like the ego play there. From his perspective, though, he did the right business move. Like, he re-signed as a big star and, like, made a bunch of money, and is probably going to get a decent push. I don't think it lasts. I don't think he wins the championship. And I do think he ends up coming back to AEW, which is going to be interesting.
Right.
But again, with the way that with the spectacle of wrestling, the way that works is it'll probably help AEW when he comes back. You know what I mean? So whatever, like, he used his power in a way that was interesting, and like, people are talking about him. I won't lie, I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I'm not going to start watching WWE again, I don't think, but I'll follow it to see what happens. But the match itself was all right. I think he's an average wrestler, and I thought that he had matches in AEW that were way better than this. So
Yeah.
So whatever.
For sure, man. I would, like you said, I wish there was I wish there was a between No and the explosion.
What else
Hey, man. No.
There we go. Sort of.
I give it I just think Cody is the definition of a mid wrestler, and I just
pretty
thought that
average.
this was top tier midism.
Yeah.
Just super emotional all the time. Dramatic, but it's just like, but it's just mid. It's just like real dramatic, but like mid though. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just super average to me. I just think he's really average, and I think this was I think he's capable of having a good match. I thought this was a good match. But I didn't think it was like an all-time or anything. Didn't think it was one of the best matches of the year. It just wasn't trash.
Yeah, it was fine. It was cool.
Yeah, and I don't like Cody, man. I don't know what it is. I think he's just a big me guy, and I think that's what kind of throws me off of him. Like, he just was like coming out and just begging the fans to not boo him pretty much when he was in AEW.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end,
it was
man.
just weird, and he just got. We talk about heat in wrestling all the time. Like, MJF's got good heat, right? He's got "we hate you" heat, but that's good because it means you're doing your job as a heel. When you start getting go away heat, that's not good. And I think Cody was starting to get that go away heat, man. And I think he honestly was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm out of here. And
he reacted similarly to how Ronda Rousey reacted when she first left WWE.
Yeah, agreed, man. Oh God, speaking of Ronda Rousey. Up next on the matches from night one, we got Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. What'd you think of this?
Again, bro, in the middle.
No. No.
It was. I mean, look, both of those folks are great athletes. Charlotte is a good wrestler. Like, I can't deny that. I'm not a fan of her. I think she just sucks. Like, her personality just sucks, and it makes it difficult for me to respect her as a wrestler. Like, clearly she's great. Like, she's a great wrestler, obviously. But is she the greatest of all time? I think there's plenty of wrestlers that are better than her.
Yeah, I'm not a. This is gonna actually be a Liam Neeson no for me.
No.
No. Charlotte just. I mean, like, what if Ric Flair wasn't her dad?
Sure. Who
That's
cares?
just
Like,
kind of
literally, who cares?
Who cares? I think I think the way that a lot of people criticize like wrestlers who do cool spots, like right, you hear a lot of fans like, "Oh man, you guys watch AEW, all they do is flips, man. Like all the Young Bucks do." Like, bro, Charlotte's kind of a spot wrestler, bro. She's not very good in between. She's like clunky. She's not. I don't think she's that good, honestly. I think
you know what I think changed my opinion, because I thought because she looked different than a lot of the other wrestlers.
Yeah.
She's
a good athlete. I'm not saying she's not.
And I don't mean to say that the other girls aren't legit athletes. They all are, but she's built different. But
Yeah.
you know what neutralized all of that shit is the emergence of Bianca Belaire, and truth be told, even Jade Cargill in terms of like
the athletic specimen of a wrestler,
but
that's a woman.
like more fluid.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And yeah, man, and then like you said, her attitude is just her personality just stinks.
Yeah,
but yeah, I didn't care. I mean, I think the fact that this match went on after what we're gonna get into, which was ultimately the best match of the whole weekend to me. I just think, I don't know, these two, man. Like, you got Charlotte, who doesn't sell anybody's offense. Like, she just be in the ring, like not really kind of selling the other person's offense. And then I'm very surprised that these two didn't just explode on each other and just start shooting on each other like Charlotte and I did. Just, I can't really stand either one of these people. I like Ronda Rousey's offense. Mm-hmm. I think her offense it looks dope. Obviously,
she's legit.
Because,
she's a legit world class.
But she just seems like kind of a jerk too.
Oh, there's no question about that. She's one of those sort of like libertarian MMA weirdos.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't really care for this match. But let's get into the next match that I want to talk about, which is the meat and potatoes of the weekend to me, and that's Bianca Belaire and Becky Lynch. That's going to be the A-man for me.
Amen. Yeah. Amen. Yeah.
First of all, this is I think two of the greatest female wrestlers ever right here. I think that Bianca Belaire, man, she's got this is her second year in a row having the best match at WrestleMania. And I love her reaction, right? Like the first time, I have this picture saved in my phone. I'll show it to you. When she won last year, she was just at the beginning of the match, right? The beginning of the match last year, it was just happy to be here. It was happy to be here. Remember, she was crying. She couldn't hold it in, and Sasha Banks let her have her moment, let her cry a little bit.
Yeah, shout out to Sasha Banks for that,
Yeah,
too.
And then when she won at the end, she was just like overwhelmed with joy. She's crying again, so happy, right? But then you look at her this year. When the match starts, it's not happy to be here. It's, oh, yeah, we here.
Yeah,
I'm taking it. Yeah.
Yep.
And then when she won, it was like, yeah, I'm dope. I'm nice.
I'm cold.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Also, her intro was amazing.
Oh my goodness, her intro was fire. Becky's intro was fire. Everything about this match was.
Becky
so good.
looked sweet as hell too.
Bro, Becky's look was off the charts. She looked like a cyberpunk anime supervillain.
Yep.
Like her look was crazy. The intros were crazy. That look was crazy. The match was crazy. The spots was crazy. The finish was crazy. The story going into it was crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, this was the best built WrestleMania match. This was the best match at WrestleMania. These two women right here, man, super dope. I loved it. This was definitely the best match of the weekend to me.
I agree.
Amen. Yeah. Amen. Yeah.
And then night one had a surprise main event. Stone Cold Steve Austin comes to the ring with the knee braces on, catches about 75 beers, ends up having an actual wrestling match with Kevin Owens. I thought this was cool, man. I thought it was cool.
It was pretty good.
It was fun.
Was the wrestling good? Of course not.
No, but it was fun.
Yeah, nostalgia.
I can tolerate this. Like, this was fun. It was cool to see. I'm sure it was amazing to Kevin Owens. So I'll go explosion on it for the fact that it was fun and a little nostalgia. But how much nostalgia do we really need? All right. All right, so let's get into night two. I'm going to just be honest. I thought night two was...
the whole thing, bro. She was trash. Shit was trash.
All right, so I'm just going to kind of blaze through some of these night two joints. So we'll start off with this. The triple threat tag match. I'm going to go explosion on this. Matt Riddle and Randy Orton versus Street Profits
I missed
versus
that one.
Gable and my man, what's his name? Otis. I thought this match was good. The crowd was unbelievably hyped for it, which adds to the atmosphere. Is one of the things that can add to a match and make it really good. So I'm gonna go explosion on this. I thought this match was fun. Then they had Gable Stevenson come in, the Olympian, who I think they done introduced him at WrestleMania twice.
Yeah,
like I think this guy's gonna get a huge like Kurt Angle type of push
and he black now too. So let's
he black. He black
and he for real black,
Yeah.
not like ambiguous black.
Yeah.
Like he light skinned and everything, but this nigga got waves. And got hella tattoos. Like let's not do anything weird here.
Yeah, let's
It's
not
okay
say
to have him
let's not say he's Kurt Angle's son.
Right.
Let's
Like
just keep it
it's
black.
Let's go ahead and make him like actual black, not unambiguous, and do some black stuff with him, please.
I like it. I'm excited for him. I think he's gonna be dope. Then we had the women's tag match. It was like the 4-way match. I thought this was clown music trash. It was just like mad unorganized. It just looked like one of those things where they didn't know if they were gonna put the match on the show or not, and then Vince just kind of goes, "Hey, get out there, hurry up, go! They're playing. I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes."
Right.
I didn't really like this match. Thought it was just kind of all over the place. Then
I like to see that Naomi and what's the name?
I will say that I love the fact that yes, more black women champs.
Yep.
We got Bianca Belair, we got Jade Cargill, we got Sasha Banks and Naomi. Yes, more black women champions.
And
I
somebody
love that.
else I seen that meme that was going around. Who was that other black woman in what is that, NWA or?
I did not see it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll have to check it out. But yeah, man, more black women champs. I like it. That was cool. Then we had New Day got done dirty. I don't even want to talk about this. Hey, yeah. I'm gonna give you niggers a couple minutes. You guys I want you guys to wear Big E's clothes, and you're gonna honor him. But then you're gonna lose to the guy that broke his neck. So stupid,
Man, I almost hate the fact that they've been so successful in WWE. I just want them to get out of there.
I do too, man. That really.
And it's never gonna happen though.
It made me so mad. That was messed up.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to give New Day time, bro. They've made you guys so much money.
So much money, bro. Like they should be.
That was ridiculous.
They're legitimately, and not only have they made a lot of money, they're also like legit, like top 2 or 3, 4 greatest tag teams ever in WWE.
Yeah, I don't. It was
Like,
that was kind
come
of
on,
a slap
dog.
in the face a little bit. Then we got Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn in a Nickelodeon.
What the fuck? Nickelodeon, exactly. Legends of the Hidden Temple ass bullshit.
What are we doing?
Hey, sure.
I mean,
I laughed
a lot
because a
of
nigga
people-
got kicked in the balls.
A lot of people are like, "Oh man, Sammy could." do-" And it's like,
What do
okay,
you
bro,
mean?
but like R-Truth could have did that too.
And
like,
better.
You know what I'm saying? I just like, what are we doing? Is this
R-Truth would have been way better because he's like funny.
I just think I'm too much of a pro wrestling fan to enjoy something like that for that long.
It would have been a cool thing to see on a like throwaway SmackDown or something.
It would have been cool to see on an episode of freaking Nickelodeon. I don't know.
Double Dare. Fucking
America's Own Funniest Videos match. Whatever, man.
not on WrestleMania though. Dog.
Anyway, dog. Then we had another non-wrestler getting a match. Oh, by the way, Finn Balor, United States Champion, did not have a match on WrestleMania. Oh, by the way, Ricochet, Intercontinental Champion, second, used to be a very prestigious title, mid-card title, did not have a match on WrestleMania card. Logan Paul had a match on WrestleMania card. Johnny Knoxville had a match on WrestleMania card. Pat McAfee had a match on WrestleMania card. I don't know, man. I just imagine being a guy who's dedicated his whole life to. It's almost like being a producer your whole life, and you put so much into the craft, and then a rapper wakes up that's already famous and starts making beats, and they instantly like win a Grammy or something.
Huh.
But
Interesting.
Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory. I mean, I was impressed with McAfee's his I don't like him having a match on WrestleMania because there's guys that should be on the card that weren't. But I do think that he is like he is very good in the world of professional wrestling.
Sure.
I do like him. He does a good job.
He gets it.
He gets it. Yeah, exactly. He gets it. He gets the nature of wrestling, and he's that type of character. He's got good energy. It was cool. I mean, I thought the crowd loved it. They ate it up, and it was cool to see Michael Cole get super hyped for his boy. But at the end of the day, it's a no for me, dog. Why is Ricochet and Finn Balor not on the card?
Yeah. Also, I think Bad Bunny was flat out better as a wrestler, which is saying a lot.
And then we got we had Vince McMahon come to the ring. Look, man, I'm gonna just be honest. I don't care what anybody says. Vince McMahon was not in that body. That was what we saw. I don't care what anyone says. That was a empty vessel.
Yeah, Vince McMahon is just a non-corporeal entity that has he has clone bodies that he has in storage. And so when he blows out his knees, like when he took that stunner, he can just go install himself. He can install download and install the data patch into the new body, so he can just kind of
Stephanie, you come here. I want you to upload my body into Model 617.
Right, bro. The fucking
Model 617's the one with the black beater and the big muscles
and the flabby big muscles. Vince McMahon Doombots.
Yo, when he took that stunner, his knees exploded. Did you ever see that episode of South Park?
Yes, bro.
Kyle, they called it a negroplasty. He got that surgery so he could be black and tall, so he could play basketball.
That nigga's knees
literally
broke off.
And his knees exploded. Oh man, yeah. If nope.
You know what I'm saying?
Not gonna be able to do it.
Nah.
All right, man. Moving on from that.
Oh, real quick. Here's my theory. Do you think? No pun intended. Do you think Austin Theory is
that was fire? You gonna be a rapper now?
Not
gonna be able to do it.
Do you think Austin Theory is WWE's answer for MJF?
I think Austin Theory. You know what's crazy is I saw him. He used to be Evolve champion, and I used to go to Evolve shows as an indie promotion. And I always thought that he had it, that he was like a guy who could be a top guy in wrestling. I don't like the whole. I can't stand I guess what is it kind of like the douchebag guy?
Yeah,
I think it's stupid. I would have liked to see them do something different with him.
Well, I think the reason why they're doing that is because
of him.
Because of MJF. But MJF does it way funnier and way more interesting than him.
Yeah, and MJF's not stupid. They're doing him like he's the dumb,
like a jock,
like the dumb jock
guy.
guy.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's a good wrestler, and I think he will be good, but I don't know.
They're trying to make him the next guy. The next.
Yeah, anytime if Vince gets directly involved with you,
yes. Because he did the same thing for Roman Reigns back 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, anytime Vince directly, puts one of his Doombots out to interact with you, it's
one of his avatars. Dog, Doom is fucking Darkseid from DC, bro. He doesn't exist in this realm, and he just sends his essence into vessels.
100%, bro.
He gonna live forever, Triple H. So you ain't gonna never inherit that shit, bro. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. Then we got Bobby Lashley versus Omos.
I fast forwarded through that whole match, so I trust that it was trash. Yeah,
my big black toys.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna cling them together.
Send the big black beat ass niggas out there.
It's a Mandingo fight.
The Mandingo fight.
Oh my goodness. That's 100%
what he was thinking.
I don't even want to think how that match came to be. Let's just move on.
It's all bad.
Then we had AJ Styles versus Edge. I'm gonna go Explosion here. I didn't love this match. I didn't think it was like amazing or anything, but I thought it was cool. I thought Edge's entrance was fire. And I thought it was dope to see Damian Priest kind of come in at the end. I like Damian Priest, and it looks like Edge is gonna have some type of stable or something.
Talking about that.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's dope. My thing with AJ, man, like I think that AJ is this guy who's really good in the ring, but like his pacing is terrible in his matches, and I think that's why I just don't like him. And he just does this thing, man, where like his matches are always have like, go back and just watch a lot of his matches. His matches always have bad pacing. Like they're like, it's like this thing where they'll go from like being high octane and then it's just like a molasses fest for the rest of the match, and then it'll just be like a kind of a it's over. You know, I won.
A silent
like
fart finish.
A lot of his matches are like that, man. And like when he was in New Japan, it wasn't like that. Like he and obviously it's because the New Japan style is like the crazy finishes, right? But I just think that, I don't know if it's him or what, but yeah. And then the main event, the biggest WrestleMania match of all time. This match sucked. No. I thought this match was trash.
I'm not gonna quite give it the booty juice music, but it was trash.
Roman Reigns and Brock. I mean, whatever. Like, y'all just gonna have the same match every time y'all wrestle.
Yeah, man. That's what I was saying before. I'm a little bit of a Roman Reigns apologist because I think he's cool. Like, I think him, the person, is cool, and I think the new thing that he's doing is the most interesting thing he's done. So
no, I am. I mean, look, yeah, I'm here for Tribal Chief.
And so
Roman.
The thing that I
acknowledge me.
Right? So you got the cool gimmick and you got the cool look, right? But the thing that I've always like complained about is, if you want to win over some of the folks who don't think you can wrestle, like, why don't y'all let him wrestle? And they just keep putting him in these matches where he just, like, how did Eric describe it?
A WCW NWO revenge match.
Right. Well,
it's just like a video, full special bars, no fatigue.
I'm gonna just do my finisher over and over and over again.
My signature and my finisher.
Like, that might have been cool the first time that they had a match like that, but it's been like every match.
It's like a match that appeals to only an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Like it's chaos. Oh, they're so big. It's like it's like two kaiju monsters fighting.
It gets hard to defend. Like, all right, well, maybe if you get him a better opponent, he can actually do some wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
Well, like, they never let him do, and so maybe he can't wrestle. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I kind of feel the same way about Brock, bro. Like, everybody's so high on this guy, bro. He does the same 3 moves every match, right. And for the entire duration of the match, he does like 3 moves. I'm not for me, man. I didn't care. I actually fell asleep on this match. Believe it or not, I did. I fell asleep and woke up and it was over, and I kind of didn't rewind it.
There was one thing that you would have appreciated as a jiu-jitsu practitioner, is that Brock Lesnar countered a spear into a Kimura
I saw that.
armbar,
I saw that.
which was
into the Kimura, the double wrist lock.
Pretty legit.
Yeah, that was dope. And I mean, Brock's a legit tough guy, so I think that's his appeal, man. But like, come on, man, do some more stuff in the ring. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, overall, man, it was all right. I thought night 1 was cool. I thought night 2 was trash. Favorite match was definitely Becky versus Bianca. And then real quick, man, some other stuff that happened over WrestleMania weekend before we get into this list. Supercard of Honor, Ring of Honor's big show, fire. It was really good, man. The big thing, obviously, that came away from it was Samoa Joe. Showed up at the end. Huge crowd went crazy.
Babyface and Samoa Joe.
Babyface.
Never seen that before. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, he's gonna be AEW now, so that's dope. Jonathan Gresham, man, who I told you guys about last episode in our More Black segment. Super dope wrestler, man. He beat Bandito in the main event. And then another really dope match, man, was the tag match between the Briscoes and FTR. One of the best matches of the year. You guys should go out of your way to watch that. That match was crazy. Then I told you about Ninja Mac, right?
Yeah.
This wrestler. So I was watching another dope wrestling event that happens over WrestleMania weekend is it's called Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, and basically it's this wrestling event that it happens every year during WrestleMania weekend that I always watch, and it's a event that is basically it's themed after Bloodsport. Like I'm sure you guys have seen the Van Damme movie back in the day.
Yep, one of my favorites, Bolo. God damn it.
Yeah, man. And Josh Barnett's he's a legit tough guy, man. Josh Barnett's kind of a MMA, kind of a catch wrestling, jiu-jitsu, like grappling guy in that community, and he always throws this event. And basically, it's like Bloodsport, bro. They theme it after Bloodsport. It's like the fans are all standing up. They have there's like a ring and there's no ropes. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, man. I want to go to it one day. But yeah, and they just have crazy. It's the theme is that it's like shoot fighting. Obviously, it's still pro wrestling, but I showed you that clip. This dude Ninja Mac.
He did a Raven move from Tekken.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. And so I got put on him this weekend. So he's a wrestler I'm gonna be looking out for. He's pretty dope. So Bloodsport was cool too. John Moxley had a bloodbath, of course, match at Bloodsport, but it was dope. But all right, man. Yeah, man. So we did the definitive top 10 favorite wrestlers list for you guys. Since you listen. And again, like we said earlier, man, I was happy with this one. I was good with this list. Thought it was good. Yeah. So as we always do, now it's time to give you guys our own personal top 10 favorite wrestlers list. What you got, man?
Let me see as I find the list. All right, here we go. All right, cool. So top 10 list, dog. Shout out to Samoa Joe coming in at number 10. Joe. Man.
Joe.
I found out about him when he was on WWE, but obviously way more famous from before when he was in Ring of Honor and also Impact. I also learned that he like almost killed somebody or flat out did kill somebody when he put him in a muscle buster, and which is why you can't do that move anymore.
Muscle buster, yeah, he broke Tyson Kidd's neck. Tyson Kidd was a wrestler back in NXT, and he broke his neck with that move.
Yeah.
Muscle buster is that's a scary move to get to have done to you.
Yeah, that's to me looks like the most painful move ever.
It looks like it hurts. Shout out to Samoa Joe, man. I just one of the best big man wrestlers ever. But I cannot believe that he never won the WWE Championship. Yeah. It's crazy to me.
He's now at the top of my list, right along Malachi Black and Pac to be AEW champion
for sure, man.
Love Samoa Joe. I'll let you talk more about this guy because I'm sure he's going to be on your list, but definitely Hiroshi Tanahashi coming in at number 9. And then number 8, bro. This wrestler single-handedly brought me back to wrestling. I mentioned this before. This ninja Michael Jackson Prince samurai assassin Shinsuke Nakamura, bro.
Let's go.
Absolutely electric. I'd never seen anything quite like him. Maybe the best intro theme and intro sequence of all time.
Let's go.
And obviously like an amazing wrestler. Like his stuff with New Japan is obviously way better than anything he's done in Actually, when he first was in NXT, he was still like tapping into that same stuff. But ever since he got to the main roster, he's been whatever. So. Yeah. So number 7, got to go with Bret Hart. Bret Hart, the
Hitman Hart.
Bret the Hitman Hart. Definitely like one of the prototypical baby faces. Just like one of the coolest looks ever with the glasses. Man. With the Jerry curl, the dark Jerry curl hair. Just look cool as hell. One of the best technicians to ever do it. And I also love the fact that he like was able to maintain his integrity despite being Vince's number 1 guy for a while, and to the point where it like they literally came to blows over it.
Oh, there wasn't no blows. It was
it was one blow.
It was one blow.
Yeah.
Knock Vince out his moccasins.
Bro, he knocked the avatar out that nigga. Knocked the soul out of and he had to land. He landed into another Vince bot.
Yeah, Vince been he sleeps for 1,000 winters every after every WrestleMania.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I think one of the dopest things about Brett is when we got older, he's like one of very few wrestlers you found out. Like, not only was he not a dirtbag, but he was also like a pretty stand-up guy too. You know what I mean?
It's crazy that, and shout out to Edmund. I told you about this. We're considering our top 10 celebrities who disappointed us, and it's crazy that the bar has been lowered to like, at least he's not a piece of shit.
You know what I mean?
Which is like terrible.
Yeah, that's wild.
But shout out to Bret Hart for being more than not a piece of shit, but actually a good dude.
Right.
Shout out to Brian Danielson and Sting also, who are good dudes, and we'll talk about it. Actually, I'm realizing here that Brian Danielson did not make my top 10. That sucks. He probably would have been like number 11. I really like.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah, I really like him quite a bit. Number 6, dog. Shout out to Scott Hall. Rest in peace.
Hey, let's go.
Scott Hall was my guy. The first thing that attracted me to him was the fact that we had the same last name, and when you're 8, like that's
It's
like,
your uncle.
yeah, hey, that's the guy's, because you don't know that other people have your name. It's like blows your mind at the time.
Hey, mom is
Right.
Scott Hall, my uncle.
Right. And I liked like probably one of the best big man wrestlers ever in terms of like actual wrestling technicianship.
Yeah, man, we talked about him couple maybe last episode when we kind of talked about his passing a little bit, and he was like a prototypical big man that was like a mid-card big guy, and he was like wrestling with all the sweet wrestlers. You know what I'm saying?
And like being sweet. Also, my top 2 or 3 finisher ever. Love the Outsiders Razor's Edge. So
One of
good.
the best.
Most protected, I think. And now that he's passed, and now that the Deep Sick or whatever that move is called, the End of Days. I think that is the only. Oh, I think the One Wing Angel is as well. But that's one of like only 2 finishers that has never been kicked out of.
Yeah. For a minute, Styles Clash was pretty protected, but I think a couple people have kicked out of it. Like Edge literally just kicked out of it last night at WrestleMania. Wow. So.
All right. So what else? What else we got here? Shout out to The Rock at number 5. I mean, obviously, if you're a kid in the 90s, The Rock was a big part. Whether you like wrestling or not, he was like, who didn't love The Rock? In my opinion, one of the best on the mic to ever do it with not even really a lot of competition.
Yeah.
He used to make Triple H look like a fucking clown, bro, like on a regular basis.
Yeah, that dude was hilarious.
You get up there on the Rock stage and you run your mouth. Love it, bro.
I remember one time he was in a match, and I don't know exactly what was happening. Undertaker was like at the commentary table, and he like slapped his headphones off his head. The Rock doesn't care about this crap.
Love The Rock. Just like a Miami. His gimmick was literally like a Miami like douchebag with like the polo or with the Gucci
joints.
the Versace, the Coogee sweaters and all of that.
Man, that dude was hilarious.
Love The Rock, and he could also wrestle too, man. He wasn't.
Yeah, we talked about that last week too, man. He wasn't
in an era where wrestling wasn't really the thing that they were pushing. Like he was actually legit.
He was decent.
Number 4, man, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, obviously, and the greatest luchador of all time. Shout out to Rey Mysterio.
Let's go. I can't believe this dude is still.
Yeah,
and he's still like good.
Good, man. Really, really good.
Yeah,
really good.
Wild.
Similarly, and obviously stemming back to my love for WCW, this is where I really became a fan of him, as well as who I found out later was his mentor, Ultimo Dragon.
Let's go.
At number 3. Ultimo Dragon just had one of the coolest looks ever. He was sort of, I mean, he was like Rey Mysterio, but like more experience at the time.
He was,
you know what I mean?
He was dope. And those two have had some good matches, man. If you want to check out Ultimo Dragon Rey Mysterio match, they had a really good match at World War III in 96, I think. They had a good match. And they had another one at one of the outside WCW pay-per-views, but I don't remember which one it was. But World War III, it's when Ultimo Dragon's got the pink outfit on. And Rey Mysterio's got the Spider-Man
joint.
Yeah, it's a good match.
Man, I love those. Shout out to Rey Mysterio and Ultimo Dragon. Those like electric chair hurricanranas where he like sits on your shoulders.
It's crazy.
And, like,
spins around
you.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure he invented that, didn't he? I never seen anybody else do that.
Those are the only two guys I saw doing it back then. And the Ultimo Dragon used to do it off the top rope sometimes too. Like he would.
Bro, that was his finisher
on WCW.
Yeah. I think they both had the same or like similar finishers, but I remember that was Ultimo Dragon's finisher on there. It was awesome.
Fire.
Yeah. And then number 2, no surprise here, Kenny Omega. Kenny by God Omega. You know, this was like the first big wrestler that I got into when I rediscovered wrestling. And just like never seen anything quite like it. Had a sort of a anime video game gimmick, but also like one of the most explosive and complete wrestlers of all time. Shout out to Kenny Omega. And then obviously number 1, no surprise here, Sting.
It's Sting.
Superhero, dog, childhood hero, not a piece of shit. What else do you want from him? Coolest look ever, bro. I don't care what. I mean, look, shout out to he ate the hot wings, so we gotta respect him. But for me, it's always gonna be Crow Sting, bro. Crow Sting's awesome.
Came out of a helicopter, man. What you want him to do?
Yep.
Like an action movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's what's up. Y'all know how much I love pro wrestling, man. I got some honorable mentions before I get in my list. I've made some changes to my list. I think this is gonna be interesting for you. I have made a couple changes.
Really?
Here.
All right.
Yeah. So just real quick, man, a couple honorable mentions. Got to give a shout out to Sting. He's not on my list, but Sting was also one of my childhood wrestling heroes. Shout out to Kota Ibushi, Shinsuke Nakamura, Katsuyori Shibata, Owen Hart. I loved Owen Hart when I was a kid. Yes, been some little couple shakeups here.
Okay.
Shout out to Jushin Thunder Liger, man, Pentagon, and let's get into this list, man. Coming in at number 10 for me on my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time, I'm going with Bryan Danielson.
Oh, nice.
I think that I've been a fan of Danielson when he was in Ring of Honor a long time ago. He's one of the first indie wrestlers that I really, you know what I'm saying, got into back in the day. He was cool in WWE, man, but like I think his run right now is, I always say, like, this is what Brett's run should have been when he went to WCW. Like, just the guy just out here just having sweet matches with all these people that he didn't get to wrestle when he was in WWE. That's it. That's all you needed to do. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what Danielson's been doing. And he's just, man, he's so good. He's such a technician. And like you said, man, he's a good dude too, which always adds points. So coming at number 10, I got Bryan Danielson. I love that Kenny Omega match so much that they had last year. It was my favorite match last year. Coming in, and I just, one more thing about Danielson, he's been on a tear since he's been in AEW. Like, just good match. Like, every single time he's in the ring. Love it. And I love the whole the Blackpool Fight Club thing they're doing with the just beating people up.
It's just a gang.
Gang initiation. Coming in number 9, going with Tetsuya Naito. You guys know I'm a huge New Japan fan. That's my favorite promotion. Naito is a wrestler that even before he started doing the Tranquilo thing with his gimmick that he's had for the past few years. I liked him when he was a babyface too. When he used to the Stardust Genius, he used to wear the little white jacket when he's like a face. I still thought he was cool, man. But now obviously way better. One of the smoothest wrestlers of all time. I told the story before on the pod, so I'm not gonna tell it now because it's super long. But just his rise to finally winning the IWGP Championship at Wrestle Kingdom 14. Greatest long-term story in the history of wrestling. Like, this was a story that was like 7 years in the making or something crazy like that. So shout out to Naito. I was super happy when he won at Wrestle Kingdom 14. He's got my all-time favorite finisher, Destino. I think Destino is the sweetest wrestling move ever. So shout out to Naito. Coming in at number 8, Bret the Hitman Hart. We got Bret Hart, man.
Nice.
My brother's favorite wrestler when I was a kid. And just, he's so good, man. He's one of mine. He grew on me as I got older when I looked back and just was watching some of his stuff in retrospect and just really seeing like how good he was. And he's got some great matches. Stand-up dude. one of the coolest looking wrestlers of all time. And like I always say about Brett, when I think of old wrestlers, when I think of wrestling back when I was a kid, he's literally the first wrestler that always pops into my head.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Brett. Man, there's so many good matches you guys need to watch if you're not familiar with Brett's work, man. He's got some bangers with Davey Boy Smith versus Bulldog. Got some good matches with Mr. Perfect. He's got obviously the Stone Cold matches at Survivor Series and WrestleMania 13. One of my favorites is with Owen at WrestleMania 10. Shout out to Brett, man. One of the GOATs. He was number one on our when we did the group list, man.
Yeah.
So I wasn't mad at that. He was number one by a long shot too. So shout out to the Hitman. Coming in at number 7, I'm going with Hayabusa. Hayabusa is a wrestler a lot of you guys probably not familiar with, but this dude is one of the coolest looking wrestlers ever. Japanese wrestler. He wrestled in FMW. First time I saw him wrestle was Heatwave 98 ECW, man. That was like his only American match too. And then
Really?
I started getting these tapes from my friend's dad that I talked about last week. I talked about my journey getting into getting Japanese tapes, wrestling tapes from my friend's dad and everything. But Hayabusa, man, just crazy. 450 splash, Phoenix splash. Like he was shooting star press. He was one of the first guys doing all these moves. Just a really dope wrestler. Rest in peace, man. He died, I think back in 2016, I think. So rest in peace to him. But just legend, absolute legend. One of the sweetest looking wrestlers, one of the greatest high flyers. Just all-time great, man. Shout out to Hayabusa. Coming in at number 6, and this is where the change on my list takes big effect. I'm going with another one of my childhood favorites. Just super dope. Another wrestler who made me go out and get all these tapes, and that's Ultimo Dragon.
Oh.
Coming in at number 6. I love Ultimo Dragon, man. Just amazing. And I'm going to get into this top 5. But shout out to Ultimo Dragon, man. Again, Ultimo Dragon, Hayabusa, Juice and Thunder Liger, like these are the wrestlers that made me want to go out and get all these tapes and so I could see more of their stuff. And remember I said last week, I thought Ultimo Dragon was Mexican for so long.
Me too.
And then I found out
We all did.
Yeah, and then I found out he's Japanese. So that was awesome.
Yep.
Let's get into this top 5, man. Coming in at number 5, we got Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Wow.
Look, man, Ricky is my before my time wrestler right here.
I knew he was going to be in the top 5, but I'm noticing a trend here, and I think somebody got promoted.
Somebody got promoted, yeah.
Okay.
So coming in at number 5, man, we got Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I mean, I told y'all every Friday when I was a kid, I used to rent a wrestling video from Blockbuster, man, with my mom and my brother. Always was watching old Ricky stuff. He's just fire, man. Like, such a good wrestler. And, I always say, my hot take on wrestling is that Ricky Steamboat, man, is the true GOAT of the 80s, bro. This was at a time where you had all these, it was all about the larger-than-life personalities and the crazy, loud, wrestlers. This was, Hogan. This was Ultimate Warrior. This was Ric Flair. This was Macho Man. This was these guys' time, and then there was another guy, and it was Steamboat, and this dude was quiet, and he was just getting over as being a sweet wrestler at a time where it was about everything else but that, you know what I mean? And he was out here sharing magazine covers with all these, these bigger personality guys. So shout out to Steamboat. Classic stuff with Flair. The classic with Savage at WrestleMania 3, just one of the GOATs to me. Coming in at number 4, we got Hiroshi Tanahashi, man.
Yeah.
Again,
graduated a little bit.
If I was to sit here and make a list of not just favorites, but if I was to sit here and make a list of the 10 best matches that I thought are just the best matches ever, bro, it might be 5 Kenny Omega matches and 5 Hiroshi Tanahashi matches. This dude, amazing. Eric has the best description of him. He's All Might. Hiroshi Tanahashi is All Might. He is the All Might of.
He kind of looks like All Might.
He kind of looks like him. He's kind of got that same just heroic energy about him. This dude, man, this guy is. I'm a sucker for bridging suplexes. That's a simple move, but I love them. I think Tanahashi's got the best dragon suplex ever. He's got the best. He does this thing called a straightjacket suplex where he grabs you from behind and ties your arms up and still.
Oh yeah.
That's the bridge, like amazing. Got one of the best frog splashes of all time. Just the master of emotion too. Like he makes you care so much about every match that he's in, and you don't even understand because he don't even speak English, and it's just from just watching him in the ring. He's just the master of everything. Like technician. He's master of emotion and telling stories in the ring. He's great at selling moves. He's got really sweet offense, like fast, athletic, strong. Like he's just this dude, man. If you were to create a wrestler, like he's a super good looking dude too. Like he's just like the pro. If you were to make a wrestler, like the perfect wrestler, like it would be him. Just incredible. Love Hiroshi Tanahashi. He's number 4 for me. Coming in number 3. Another wrestler from my childhood, man. Well, my favorite wrestler as a kid, that's Rob Van Dam.
Yes, sir.
Hey, guys, it's me, Rob Van Dam. He used to talk in that same cadence all the time. But shout out to Van Dam, ECW, man, waking up at 3 in the morning back in the day.
Is he the ECW GOAT?
Absolutely. There's no doubt he's the ECW GOAT. I think you got to throw Taz in there. You got to throw Sabu in there. Gotta throw the Dudleys in there as a tag team. And then, Van Dam, Taz, Sabu, Dudleys. Probably. I'm not the biggest Shane Douglas guy, but I think you gotta put Shane Douglas in there just because he did a lot for ECW when they were like first coming up. So he's probably in there somewhere. But yeah, ECW changed my life. Rob Van Dam, athletic monster, just doing all the cool martial arts stuff, one of the sweetest movesets. I think without a guy like Rob Van Dam, like a lot of these, he was like the first, like the indie style that we see now so much. He was like the first guy doing it. Like shout out to Jerry Lynn too. Him and Jerry Lynn were on that.
Oh yeah. They used to have matches all the time together. Crazy
chemistry. So shout out to Rob Van Dam. Coming in at number 2, you guys already know we got the best bout machine. That's Kenny by God Omega.
This is actually good too. This is a Street Fighter.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I was talking about Tanahashi, if I was to make a list of the 10 greatest wrestling matches of all time, it would literally be half Kenny and half Tanahashi. Like this guy, unbelievable. Just like you, man. Like in my adulthood, he has really. I never really got off wrestling like how you did, but it was a thing where like I was popping in every now and then. But he's like the wrestler that got me. Him and Tanahashi, I would say, are the 2 wrestlers that really made me like still love it as an adult. And it was really those 2, like Tanahashi around like 2014, 2015, maybe even before that, like 2013, and then Kenny from there on. So shout out to Kenny Omega. Dude's the GOAT. He's the greatest wrestler ever. Right. Then coming in at number 1, you guys already know Keiji Muto, a.k.a. the Great Muta. This was my number 1 like tape guy when I was a kid growing up. Like I saw him one time with the face paint on, spitting green stuff on people. I'm like, yo,
love it.
Who is this guy? Started getting some tapes of him. Then I started realizing that this dude wrestles as 2 different people.
Yeah, that's fire.
Like he wrestles as Keiji Muto when he doesn't have the paint on, and then when he wears the paint, he's Muta. And then not only does he wrestle as 2 different people, but it's like 2 completely different styles that he wrestles when he's both of them. 2 different personalities, different movesets. Come on, man, that's ridiculous.
I also just love the friendship that he had with Sting.
Yeah, and him and Sting had they had 2 really dope matches back in like 89, I think it was, or something like that. They had a cool thing going on with them too.
89 and 91.
Yeah. They had that one match, I don't remember, I think it was Great American Bash, and they had like the multiple rings, and Sting jumps to him from the other ring. Fire.
Yeah. Look at this pic. They look like they were like homies. Like they like.
Oh, for sure.
They're like boys.
I've heard some. I listen to a lot of old podcasts, and they say Muta like used to hang out with Sting.
That's cool. Yeah.
So yeah, man. Shout out to Muta. And then like there's some wrestlers on this list that they just move differently in the ring, and like Muta is one of them. Kenny Omega has a lot of that Muta to him. It's like that momentary explosiveness.
Sudden explosiveness.
Yeah, like a lot of dudes don't have that. Like, and Muda and Kenny are like the only two that I've ever seen do it. Obviously, Kenny might have picked it up from him, but just Muda just moved differently from everybody, man. Steamboat had some of that too, not like the explosiveness, but just the way he moved in the ring. Like it was just different from what everybody else did. So that's my number one, man. The Great Muda, aka Keiji Muto. Just one of the ghosts to me. Like I said, my number one like tape hunting guy when I was a kid. That's my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time. Number 10, we got Bryan Danielson. Number 9, Tetsuya Naito. Number 8, Bret the Hitman Hart. Number 7, Hayabusa. Number 6, Ultimo Dragon. Number 5, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Number 4, All Might himself, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Number 3, childhood hero Rob Van Dam. Number 2, Kenny Omega. Number 1, the Great Muta, a.k.a. Keiji Muto. That's my top 10. Boom. Hey, man, thank y'all for listening. WrestleMania Night 1 was cool. Night 2 was trash. I would stay checking on AEW, man. I think they're about to do something big, especially after Cody had such a good match with Seth at WrestleMania. They just signed Samoa Joe. I think some big things are about to start coming from AEW. Thank y'all for listening, man. We'll catch y'all next week. Some new things are coming, man. Like I said, Hero just played this ridiculous beat for me when I came here. He's the greatest producer of all time. All right, y'all. Yeah!